Some of these clowns talk about it, but see, I lived it. When that cell door opens, the talking's over. Ain't no guns, ain't no drive-bys. Get your knife. Straight hand-to-hand combat. Peace, blessings, and salutations. My name is Yarima Karama, coming to you again with another segment of Voices from Behind the Wall. This is the transition from prison back out to free society. Last segment, I told you about that transition, the plan, my 5-year plan that I had created prior to coming home. Some of the obstacles that I met immediately coming home, technology being one. The adversity of having to deal with a supervised release officer, which that got changed. Some of the perils of dealing with family after your first couple days, when the novelty of the love wears off, and the reality of, okay, you're home, we're living, and certain things transpired. So I left off with calling my partner in New York. And, one of the things that kept me strong, kept me grounded, not only the plan, because again, the plan, like I said, the plans change, but the goal didn't change. And sometimes the plan changing, that can lead you to become so discouraged that you just give up. But my goal was like, and one of the things that kept me grounded was a good friend of mine before I left prison. He was just like, look, just win, man, just win. And I always held that. And there were so many brothers that I left behind who were like cheering for me, literally like, man, just win. And because we don't win. And I felt myself going through that stage where it was just like, sink or swim. And so I called my partner because at the end of the day, no man is an island. And I reached out and I was just like, look, man, I really need a vehicle. One of the key things for felons coming home, period, is, transportation, being able to get around, because if you can't get around, you can't get to the opportunities. You really can't. And I know for me that was imperative to be able to get to the opportunities, because one of my goals, that was my goal, or within the realm of my goal, to be able to be here, get here. And where I was living in the city, buses rarely ran. As a matter of fact, I was like 20 some miles from the city. So, getting bus routes and all of that was like ridiculous. Some days they didn't run. At nights, there were certain times that they ended. So I called my partner and he was like, and I explained the situation to him. And I was like, I'm at a point, especially with family too, we're going through some difficulties. I'll sleep in my car, man. And he was like, look, he said, I understand. I've gone through the same thing. I got you. And he extended his hand, and I was able to get a nice little used car. And from there, it was just like I had been building some money from my work at Dollar Store. And it was just like that universal veil. I always say, man, I'm tapped into a system I'm tapped into a source that has unlimited resources. And you call it God, you call it Allah, you can call it Jehovah, whatever. I say it's the universe. And it was like when that happened, then there was an ad put in the paper, a little apartment for rent. And went and checked that out, got that. Didn't even have to put down a deposit, didn't have to put down last month's rent and all of that. I was able to just move in when I needed to move in and pay rent the following month. And so all of these things, I upgraded my job from the dollar store to something else. And, but now I got a vehicle and I'm traveling. So I'm New York, I'm there. North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm there. I'm all over the state of Ohio. I'm up in Chicago, I'm there. I'm in Indianapolis, I'm there. So, and I have a PO, or a supervised release officer, that is not harassing me. He's like, I explain my goals to him, what I'm doing. He's just like, do it. As you know, you're not causing me any problems, so do what you have to do. Just let me know. And so he gave me the freedom that I needed to be able, without the restrictions and the watching my every shoulder, watching my every move, that sort of thing. And so I was just able to move, and I've always been responsible. So I was working. And then it was like, you know what? I want to give back. I want to give back. I want to do something that's valuable. That's my purpose. I've been through something that I don't want to see other people go through. And there spawned my company, Wire Urban Youth LLC. And I started that, did the LLC, and started doing some work with the Urban League, started going into some local public schools, doing some mentoring work with some younger men and younger women, and got denied some potential work because I was still on supervised release. And I took this to my supervised release officer, and I was just like, hey, I'm being denied some employment because I'm on supervised release. Not that I'm a felon, but because they say I need to be done with the system, period. And this actually gave him the opportunity to let me know, hey, file. He said, I'm not going to file it for you, but file to get off paper. And at this point, I've been out about a year, a little over a year now, maybe 13 months. I filed to get off paper, to get off supervised release. Got it. And, went back to some of those same agencies. It's like, hey, I'm off now. And they were like, hey, we can work, and so, I did that. I was able to release my first album, My Testament Volume 1, and but it was a progression, but it was a defined plan that I used to get there, and I constantly followed that. That was like my blueprint, and even till this day, I'm off of paper. I'm not completely where I want to be, but I'm not where I was. And so even till this day, I still look at that as my blueprint. Make sure I'm not missing anything, as a good reminder that, this is where you were. Here's the goal. You still haven't fully gotten there yet. You still got some work to do. And progressively moving towards that goal. So, with that, I've been living. I'm now obtained even more employment. My ultimate goal is to make, writing, spoken word poetry, hip hop, entertainment, playwriting, movie scripts, my full-time job. And so I'm on that path, have been, and continuing to persevere and move forward. So for those just coming out, the blueprint is you putting together a plan. If you have no plan coming out, you're planning to fail. And that's that. I can't put it in any simpler terms. You have to, because you're literally, when I say this, it's real, you're literally at war. And the war is, they have no problem sending you back. That's the war. The war is you staying out and proving that, hey, I got mine together. I got mine together. And I'm not going to allow you to put me back in that dungeon like you want to, so you can continue to get paid, so the system can continue to make money off of my blood, sweat, and tears. So, and then once you're out, hey, everybody isn't gonna be, wanting to do mentoring work. Everybody isn't gonna be on some upliftment. The point is, come out with a plan, and refine that plan. And don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. The sky's the limit, man. So with that, peace, blessings. My name is Yarima Karama, Voices from Behind the Wall. Please hit me with any questions, any topics that you would like me to touch on. I will be checking. Just let me know. Friend me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let's talk, let's network, let's have that conversation. But if you would like me to touch on any other topics that you might be curious about, if I can extend that information, I will. If there's something about me you would like to know, just let me know, and I will. I'll get the information to you. I appreciate you viewing. Peace, love. One.
I'm on one, give you the treatment, represent to a further extent. It's the first volume of my testament. My testament. My testament.